And is it recording? It sure is. All right.
Okay.
All yours. Hit record on this. What's your cover?
We're setting up a phone record too, just so we make sure we get everything
Just in the camera, right?
from two
Just make sure
angles.
it's on video. All right. And then change the direction. There
Perfect.
we go. Oops. Oop.
This is starting. There you go.
All right. Is it rolling?
Okay, we got the technical stuff out of the way. Welcome, everyone. This is the beginning of a series, I would say, of channelings that are going to take place over who knows how long. The group itself is a compilation of, I'm going to say, thousands of beings. It's a group of ascended masters, angels, Arcturians, Palladians, you name it, all the different groups. So it's a consciousness channeling. It's not just one specific entity or one specific being. It's a compilation of energetic realms that have asked if I would be a conduit for them, I guess is the best way of saying it. Somebody else is coming in here.
So Mark had a question of if we could provide a call-in number for you.
Yeah. This has been going on for me for quite a number of weeks. And finally, there was this opportunity that came up to finally pull this together. So this is the first one of many. For some of you that are new, these channelings, discourses as they're also called, can last anywhere from 10, 15 minutes, could be an hour and a half. So all I ask is your patience to hang in there with this. If you have questions along the way, you're welcome to ask them, as she said, in kind of in the side box, so that the channeling isn't necessarily interrupted. Although during the channeling and discourse, a lot of times people want more clarification on certain things, which can happen at the end as well, towards the end of the channeling, towards the end of the discourse. The last thing I will say, and I'm sure they'll go ahead and share this with you, but I'm being driven to say this right now already, is that however you accept the energy, the message, allow yourself to please be in your heart space. Do the best you can to not question anything in your mind, but to be open to the message and how you feel in the message. Where does it take you? It's like your heart feels the message first. It goes into your creative center from there, and then your mind, the words will come to you as to what you are feeling, not the reverse where you question what was just said, and then you try and figure out what it means to you. That's the mind playing tricks on you. The heart, the intuitive aspect that you have, is the best guide, I would suggest, for you in these moments. So allow yourself at least that opportunity. Is it always going to work? No, we're human beings. So we're going to get into our heads here and there from time to time. So, but do the best you can to stay in your heart base space. Sometimes you might even have to take a breath and just take a deep breath and feel your heart as you're doing this. So I guess that's about it. And so I think we'll just begin. Go ahead, what's up? What's up?
We could get a number that we could call it and be a part of it, but it would just put everything on hold for.
Yeah, I think we'll have to
Watch the video.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take a few deep breaths and just allow them to kind of feed in, and we'll go from there. So we wish to follow up with what Tomei has just been sharing with you, in that as you hear the message, as you hear us speak, understand that words are vibration. Words are not meant to be defined. Words in the very beginning were meant to be felt. And so as we speak to you from vibration, a vibratory frequency that touches each one of your hearts differently. So what we mean by that is that somebody might be feeling a specific frequency as the words are being spoken, as it touches their heart. And a visualization might come to them that it feels like Yeshua, or it feels like Mother Mary, or it could be an angel, or a vibratory group of people, the Essenes, or it could be the Arcturians or the Pleiadians, or source energy of some kind. All source energy, of course, is the same. But what we're trying to share with you is that each one of you is going to feel differently in the vibration in the words that are being spoke, even as we speak right now. You might feel that what's being spoken to you right now comes from the Essenes, or you might feel it's coming from an archangel, and you would be correct. So the person possibly sitting next to you, or a friend of yours, might be crying right now because they feel such an incredible love coming to them. And somebody else might be crying because they feel so unworthy, because they feel that they're not worthy to hear the message. Both are having a reaction, an emotional response to what's going on, but their hearts are bringing something to them to help them open up deeper. And so they are reacting, you might say, which is more of a human response, to something that's happening in this energetic realm at this time. And they would both be correct. So it's unique to each soul, it's unique to each heart. And to not compare yourself to anyone else. To be present as possible with your heart space as you listen to the words and you hear the words. The next thing we wish to share with you is we are titling these channelings or discourses, and we're going to title them as memories. And the reason they're going to be titled as memories is because you all come from a place far, far away. You all are connected from the very beginning. This is a remembering every single time. You all were Arcturians. You all were Pleiadians. You all were Essenes. You were all there at the time of Atlantis, of Lemuria. You were all there at the beginning when the earth came about. You are millions and millions of your years old. When we call you old souls, it is beyond your comprehension of the depth of what that means. It is not a definition. It is a truism. It is a truth that reaches deep within your heart. As some of you know, you have a sacred space of the heart. It is not a definition of a sacred space. It is an energy. It is a diamond cell essence that your souls have from the very beginning. And every lifetime, if you look at these as lifetimes, every moment that you have spent in your journey from the very beginning, you have carried this diamond cell essence with you. It is your strongest connection to the all, to the primary creator, to all of who you are. It is buried deep inside. It is your job, especially in this world today, to uncover that for yourself. For as you uncover that diamond seed essence of yourself, you uncover it for everyone, for all the universe. It opens up a package of gifts and understandings and wisdom that is far beyond what you know right now. And what does it take to do this? It only takes for you to become one with your heart. Each one of you, any soul that is here is precious. No matter how they have chosen to live in this world. No matter if they have killed somebody or saved somebody, they are still precious. There is no judgment upon any of things that are happening. And this might be hard to hear because right now, those that are in control want you to judge. If you can judge, they keep you in that box. And the box surrounds this diamond core essence that you hold. It is a crystal beyond comprehension. So long ago, you were creating crystals here. They were enormous. You knew how to do it because you were totally connected with that crystal essence within you. And all you did was project that out in a true, balanced, loving, open way. You did it because of who you were, how you connected to the all. There wasn't anything else. And obviously things change. And now there's a tremendous, tremendous shift going on. We are not here to talk to you about how hard things are and how hard they're going to be. We are here to open up your crystal essence. We are here to support you every step of the way. But you have to act. You have to choose. Every soul on their own must choose. There's a duality still here. You still live here. You're still a part of this world, and it's dualistic in its nature. It doesn't mean the choice is black and white, for thus there would be right or wrong. The choice, when it comes from your heart and the feeling that you feel, is always right. No matter what, it is your choice from your heart that is driven. And as that drive becomes a part of the cellular structure of your entire physical body, it expands out into your energetic body, and you become what they call a light body. You become one, you become unified. Then clarity comes. You open up that third eye that is so precious to you. The third eye is not what opens first. It is the essence, the crystal that you hold within your heart that opens first. That vibration, so profound and so beautiful, assisting other parts of you to begin to open. And you become unified. You might say at this point, nothing can stop you but yourself. It is the will, the divine will, not the ego will, the divine will that is born within that divine essence that you hold, that intuitively guides you into the best for all. There is no best for me. There is only best for all. And that is found in that divine essence. You're here to serve. That doesn't mean you give yourself away. You tried that many times in Lemuria and in Atlantis, and it didn't work out so well. For there were those entities and those individuals who took over and knew they could use you and abuse you in ways that you couldn't even comprehend. Even today, it's still around. They haven't left. And you see the results of some of this, and it breaks your heart. The solution is to work on the heart space and know the difference. The best of all, the best for all, in the service that you give is felt through the heart. Tomei has worked diligently with some of you, discussed with you many, many times, is how do you meet people where they're at? How do you know where they're at so you don't harm them? How do you know to be present with them? And sometimes it's the hardest thing you can ever do. The answer isn't so pretty sometimes from the effect that it might have on your emotional body and your physical body. Yet it's the most loving act that you could ever do. The difficult times are here. There is no question about that. You see it all around you, but that doesn't mean that you can't walk through these difficult times, even with each other, with a sense of grace. Integrity. Integrity is so important right now. A grace and integrity that carries you through in your heart. That you don't need anything outside of you anymore, that it all comes from within. Even as things seem to crowd around you. There are three aspects that we wish to discuss in today's channeling. Patience, truth, and humility. Patience. There actually is no definition for patience, not in this realm or in your realm. As we've shared with you before, words are not words, they're vibration. There is a vibration of patience that is carried with you all along. You have waited for these times since the beginning. So don't tell me or us that you don't have patience. It's been millions and millions and millions of your years. I would suggest to you that you have built up a patience within your crystallized heart essence that is beyond, again, comprehension. You have the patience. It is a part of you. But if you allow what's outside of you in the world that you live in to affect you and cause you to react in certain ways, it eats away at that patience, because your ego, your program, as you know, you all know about this now. There is no question anymore that you have an ego, that you have a program that has been developed through this ego. There's no question about that. So do you allow the ego and that patience with the ego to drive you, to have instantaneous answers, solutions, feelings? Or will you allow yourself the patience that you have built upon yourself over these millions of years to let things play out? It's not to say, of course, that there aren't solutions or situations or judgments, not judgments, of course, but you know what I mean, discernments. In moments, even being silent in a moment is a discernment. It is an action Patience is a virtue, a feeling, an experience. It is not a definition of this world. It is something you carry within you already. It's not to say to look the other way in situations, of course, but sometimes it is to look the other way. This is a discernment, a feeling, a sensation that you have as you allow your heart to drive the situation, the choice, the feeling, the experience. What is the best for all? Truth. Truth is not a definition, it is a feeling. For one, a truth, as it's defined, is different than another truth for somebody else as it is defined. All you must look at is your religions. Even the Christian religions, the variances that are there for the Protestant, the Catholic, and so on, everything is defined a certain way, and you can't be with us unless you believe in our definition of how things are, whether you to kneel, whether you to stand up, whether you can drink the blood of Jesus Christ, or whether you can, not eat meat on Friday, as we've had observance this weekend in some cases that people follow. Those are all defined truths. The heart is the only place that has truth. The divine essence, the crystallized essence that you hold here in the heart space is the only truth. It is your direct connection to the truth of all things. As you allow this to open more and more, the truths become evident. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you to act on them, because it could go completely against everything you've lived for up to this point. Those are tough choices, but you're an old soul. You're going to have tough choices because that will raise you to a higher vibration. Once again, to not compare yourself to others and say, well, these are the choices they're making, and those seem okay, and I just don't want to go against the flow. You've been born here to go against the flow. You've been born here to create a new earth, not the same earth. That very experience in itself says, you go against the flow, not to fight it, not to judge it, but to present something new, a new earth, something new, a new feeling, a new process, which they're not new because the process within yourselves are all wisdom. But who you're presenting them to, who you project it out to, who you're with in just one single moment can make a change that's so significant for that one soul. And they go out and touch thousands of others in such a way to open up their hearts as well. This is how we serve. We are here to assist you in those truths. We are not here to tell you what to do. We are only here to provide opportunity, understandings which you can take and use them in such a way to open yourselves up first. For you must feel the experiences that you will project first. That is a true master. Your masterships. You don't look at yourselves as masters. We would suggest that you don't act like that. You are born as empathetic people, as souls that way, to serve. And the last thing you look at yourself as is a master. And yet there you are. And we ask you to rise up now and own that mastership. Own that sense of wealth that is waiting for you inside that golden crystal essence that you hold. Allow that truth to begin to come. You're not going to stand on the street corner and scream out and yell out and have everybody come to your attention. You're not going to sit in front of throngs of people. It's going to be done one individual soul at a time. It's intimate. It's beautiful in that intimacy of reaching out to just one that's with you. Of just holding somebody's hand when they're walking through something so difficult. Not trying to fix anybody. Just trying to share from that golden essence that you have inside. To assist others to raise up to their beauty, to their truth. One person at a time. We are not here to bring attention to us. We are not here to open you up so you bring attention to yourselves. We are all unified and we are all here to serve. To continue to make this shift happen in such a beautiful, beautiful way. Which leads to the final quality that we wish to discuss, which is humility. And once again, you'll hear us say this over and over again. There is no definition for humility. For each person in their own heart, as they walk their walk, become humbled. Isn't it true that many of you will walk out there and be bragging and talk about things that you think you know all about and you get knocked down? You get humbled. And you must start over again. It seems that the moment that it's projected out from the ego or from the mind because of the great knowledge you think you have, all the books that you might have read, all the processes and workshops and everything that you have taken. Some of you know, you've heard the word spiritual ego. Humility does not care how it is projected, when it is projected, what comes back, how it is affecting other people. Humility is just open, not attached to any outcome. Willing to be in any moment, at any time, with a deep heart, a heart that feels, a heart that can cry and laugh, bring joy, be with sorrow, be with the darkness, bring light to situations, bring dark to situations if it's needed. There's an openness that is a feeling of openness that each individual soul, each individual heart holds. It's waiting for anyone to enhance, embellish, to embrace it, As you know, in the lifetimes that you have led so far, it has not been easy. For ego wishes us to attach ourselves to outcomes. It wishes for us to think that we know the answers, that we are better. But humility also says that things happen, and they happen always for the best of all, even though it doesn't appear that way. As old souls up to this point, the millions and millions of years that you have experienced this existence as a soul, you are still here. You have made it this far. We have been with you the whole way. Don't think for a minute that we have not experienced what you are experiencing, for we're all in this together. Your journey has seen so much. You hold within you an incredibly beautiful experience of a soul's journey that is unique unto you. The gifts that you hold from this unique experience are off the charts. They hold a strength. They hold an empowerment that uplifts your heart. That even as you and some of you have celebrated the passion of the Master this weekend, you have carried with you the experience of that passion as well. You have gone through many, many trials and tribulations, both physically, mentally, emotionally, dying in many ways, killing in many ways, suffering in many ways, creating joy in many ways, seeing new planets arise, building a new foundation again and again and again. You are the universe. As you look up in the night skies, you are the shooting stars that you see across the skies. You're the beautiful sunrises and sunsets. You're the wispy clouds, the blue skies, the rainstorms. You're even the tornadoes, the hurricanes. You're a part of this planet more than you can ever comprehend. You're a part of the planets, the energies, your gravity, your repulsion, your electrons, your atoms. Can you understand the billions of electrons you have in your system, each holding the golden essence of Source? Have you ever taken a moment, just a breath, to honor yourself in such a way of what you carry? It's unfathomable who you are. Your energetic body holds all this together, and it's beyond even the electrons that you hold within your own physical body. You have been the scientists of Atlantis. You have been men, you have been women. You know the imbalances. You know the balances. Bring forward your patience that you carry. Be patient with yourself first. Bring forward the truth that you carry. Know your truth and honor that truth. And with those two, be humble. Care for yourself as you care for others. You have done so much over all these millions and millions of years. You have carried so much. And now it's time to create. It's time to create a new earth. It's time to step in to your mastership. Your mastership begins to create the fourth dimensional energetic realm a little at a time. Some of you have already felt higher dimensional vibrations. But we would suggest that it's only been a very, very minute amount because your physical bodies cannot handle such an onslaught of high frequency energy. You might say there's a preparatory way, a process to accept these energies a little at a time. It has already started. For if your life is starting to become somewhat in upheaval, things are happening in directions you never thought would happen, allow yourself patience. Know the truth from here. And be humble in the process that's taking place. Open yourself up to the experiences that are in front of you and inside you. It will only lead you to a higher frequency, which is where all this is going. This is your time. This is the place. You spent so long working on all this. Your patience has been incredible. And now, finally, the times are arriving. It doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, of course, but the times are changing. Patience, truth, humility. Before he comes out of this, we will take questions from anybody who wishes to ask. If you wish to write it, Amanda can come and look at them. If you wish to speak out, you're welcome to do so. Obviously, just honor each other and don't speak too much together at the same time. So we welcome questions in either form.
Molly, do you want to unmute your mic so you can ask specifically what you're?
Sure. Lately, there's been a impetus to action and trying to discern whether it's physical 3D action and or spiritual effort, which is required now.
You pose an interesting question for yourself only because it requires both. So as you go into your heart space and a feeling of action takes place, the suggestion here would be the heart has a feeling of movement, of action, of creating something, an action towards a specific situation for yourself. Then that action is, as you stay with it, let's just say for a time period of silence, goes into a creative mode. It says, okay, this feels right and needs to be created. So to be created means we have to use the creation vortex within our sacral chakra, but then moving up into the mind, into the third eye to bring clarity, to see and visualize how would that come about. That becomes then a third dimensional action. So you're bringing forward from your heart space and projecting out into the world that which you wish. Instead of having the world tell you how it's supposed to be, you are choosing to go into your heart first to visualize, let's say, how that's going to be, and then the visualization is created in front of you. We come in and we assist you in those moments. You have told us what it is that you wish to create. We're not telling you how to create it or that you must create it. You are choosing within your own heart space to act on this. We will then provide you the opportunities for that to take place through possibly synchronicities, as you know, through situations that can happen to assist and bring that to fruition.
I understand.
You understand? Okay.
No.
It always comes from here first, as you know. And then created, visualized, and then projected. And then the tools will be presented for you to use in this third dimensional reality to be able to create what it is that you wish.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
It looks like Mary had a question. Did you want to ask? Mary, are you there?
Yeah, I feel one way about what's happening in the world with the COVID-19 vaccine for me, and trying not to judge, but trying to step back and see what's happening. Is this vaccine implanted with something to prevent folks from raising their vibration through the change?
We would answer it by saying, yes, it does, but not in the way that you're thinking. This is a synthetic vaccine. It is a synthetic virus, which means that it is low vibration. Because it is low vibration, if one is to keep their vibration high, even just a smidgen above the vibration that is there with the synthetic vaccine or the synthetic virus. It cannot affect you. They want you to believe that you need whatever this is to combat or fight the virus. That is fear. That is a low frequency. It is the fear that has been prevalent from the beginning of Atlantis and before, that has kept people at bay. And it's kept people at bay because they choose to be in fear. Once you allow yourself to raise your fear, let's say, and not necessarily fight it, of course, but to just become one with it, to dissolve it into your higher frequency, it can no longer affect you. So to allow yourself to go deeper into the heart space. This is an opportunity for anyone to look at their fear, not to look at it as a virus or look at the vaccine or the judgments surrounding it all. It's to look at the fear that surrounds that very thing. Once that is, let's say, dissolved into the higher frequency, as you've walked through the fear, it can no longer affect you. Then it just becomes a choice of what's best for all. If you wish to move around the planet, to stay here, to assist others, to be able to do that, I might have to accept taking the vaccine, even though I know it's synthetic, but I also know I'm not scared of it because it doesn't create fear for me. It doesn't affect me at all. For those who are steeped in fear, then it will keep them even further in that place. It adds, adds the expression of the low frequency of it, adds the expression to the fear they already have. So it just kind of adds more to it. Once they choose to face their fear, if they ever do, then that energetic feeling they have within inside of themselves, the low frequency, then is not the driver any longer. It's the high frequency that is the driver. Now it's a long and drawn out explanation. And because everything is frequency, everything is, you might say, energy, everything has a wave or a vibratory pattern to it, low or high. Your own science has shown you that the higher the frequency, the lower frequency kind of gets dissolved into the higher frequency. It's not killed, it just changes it. Tomei used to do healing ceremonies. And as the healing ceremonies took place, there were entities, you might call them. Those were the words that were used at the time, but actually they were just energies that were low frequency energies that did not serve that particular person any longer. So as a group, the group would raise that energy above the body, you might say, and the energy had a choice on directions on where it went, but the directions, either way that they were going to go, would shift the energetic value of what that was to a higher frequency, because it would be dissolved into a higher frequency realm. You now, as old souls, are being asked to do that yourself. You have the capability. You are all alchemists, spiritual alchemists. You know already how to do this. You did it in Atlantis, Lemuria, and other planets. your old souls you carry within you in this crystallized heart space, the ability to shift energies. Not because one is bad is good. If you judge the energies, then you will not be able to do that. If you treat everything as unified and see the beauty in everything, then you're able to transmute things for the best of all. Yeshua didn't walk around and heal everybody. He did heal some, but he wasn't the healer. He was the conduit for the healing. He could use his eyes, his hands, his heart. He could use it all to walk the walk and assist others for the best of all. Not to prove who he was. Not to just raise people up, to cause trouble. It was a universal flow. You have that capability. You can do it now. But you must have the divine will open up within your heart space to become that divine spiritual alchemist that you already are. When Tomei asks you to meet people where they're at, that's how this works. As you open your heart as one is in front of you, you can feel the pain or suffering that's happening for that person. You can feel the joy that's happening for that person. You are now one with that person. You now become a server, an empathetic server that is for the best of all. Not just because you're supposed to give yourself away. We will say there's many tricks going on out there with this supposed virus. And you must be careful. You must use your heart to discern for yourself what makes sense to you if you want to look at it that way. We don't wish you to use your mind, we wish you to use your heart. And as you follow your heart, you're not right or you're not wrong. Do not allow others outside of you to control the way you feel, to give yourself away to it, to judge others that aren't doing it the way you're doing it, to not take within yourself the judgments of what other people think of you and what you're doing and how you're doing it. This is all based in fear. Yes.
So it looks like Bill Spady has the next question. Bill, did you want to unmute your mic and ask?
His microphone's not working, and I think Mark has a question before that. If you want to just maybe read them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see Bill put his question in twice, above and below Mark. Okay. Yeah, Mark, do you want to ask? And then I'll send a message directly to Bill. Sorry.
Mark, you're muted.
How about now? How will I be aware when my lower ego has been melded with my higher self? Will that mean I'm no longer, in terms of, I'll no longer be attached to the experience, but my feelings and thoughts will still be as part of the experience?
We wish to say at this point that this is quite a deja vu moment. Do you remember asking this question already?
Maybe.
How does one know when their ego has been quieted. One knows that their ego has been quieted in such a way that it is still available anytime. In fact, as some of you know, it comes and goes when it's not really invited to come and go. However, it doesn't have the same trigger that it used to. It can be there as a way of deepening your own process, and you can see clearly that that is what is happening. You don't look at it as an adversary. You look at it as a support. And that is really different, I'm sure, for many of you. For as you know, your ego does not carry with you when you cross over. It is only here. The reason for that, of course, is it is here to support you in your journey to finding your highest and best self, you might say, your capital S self. In the beginning, as you know, it's quite a struggle. It can still be a struggle for some of you. Trying to discern for yourself, which is my best course of action? Tomei had an interesting discussion not too long ago with one of you. And the discussion was based upon a reading. And the person did not want to share the reading that she actually felt. Just as some of you, as you've gone through some of the healing ceremonies, did not want to share with the person laying down some of the truths of what you felt. You felt as if I were to say that, I would be judged, they would be hurt. And I don't want to be the one to tell them that. That's the ego. It wants to get in the way. It wants to cause a blockage to your greatest truth. When one understands that the ego is not there as an adversary, the ego can still be there, providing you the opposite truth for you to feel first. It doesn't mean you're agreeing with the adversary, if you want to look at it that way. It just means it's another opportunity to embrace a different experience. Now, the ego wants things to always be the same, so you might notice a lot of the times that what the ego is presenting to you is kind of the same situation over and over and over again, especially from the past. Wanting to stay in that box, wanting to stay in that emotion or those thought streams or the physical aspects of what it's like. Eventually, you'll know for sure through your heart that you've already experienced these things before. What is the best for all? Once again, there isn't a me anymore. Because as you experience what you're experiencing, the whole world experiences it. The universe experiences the changes that you're making. For you are creating a new energetic field around you that wasn't there because you're not allowing the same old thing to happen. You're actually building from it, so the ego is reminding you of this is who you are really. And you know eventually that, no, I was that, and you're right, I was that, but I'm not that any longer. I don't know who I am, but I'm going to use that as a springboard to change the energetic field around me. I will use the ego's energy to start that process. It is no longer an adversary. It is now a complementary energetic field that is going to help you move on. Now, you might say the ego is going to be a little pissed off about that. It wants its way. It doesn't want to give up. It's going to keep coming. But what you might notice eventually is it's going to give up the same way it comes to you and look for other opportunities. Well, what does that do? As it changes the way it comes at you, it does provide you another way of springboarding from, another way of changing your energetic field. And on you go until, like Papa G said, when his client or his initiate asked him and said, "Are you diligent? Are you vigilant in all that you do, Papa G?" And once again, his answer was, "Until my last breath." Ego is with you until your last breath here. It never leaves. There is always an opportunity for you to raise your consciousness even higher. That is humility. That is truth. And oh yes, that is patience. It takes a lot of patience to keep walking through all those scenarios, but at some point you are at 51%, are you not? You are no longer 49, not in the heart, and 51 in the ego, in the mind. You have now crossed over just ever so slightly into that 51% in the heart, 49 in the ego. It becomes very obvious from here, from the feeling, from the experiential of what's happening, how it wishes you to walk your journey instead of how you wish to walk your journey. Almost like the world at 51%, when it's controlling you, says, no, here's how you're supposed to be here. When you finally let go of that and you cross over and begin the process of becoming that spiritual alchemist, of shifting the energy within you, and you all of a sudden cross over into the 51% realm where, yes, the world still has 49%. Not control, but affecting you. Still strong. But you're 2% more in the heart. You're 2% more clearer. You're 2% more aware of how it's starting to work. And you just keep going. Even when you're at 99.9%, and usually that's the moment before you're about to pass away, not always, there's still that 0.01% that is waiting to make that last difference, to hold you back, to keep you here before you cross over till your last breath. There's a dynamic difference that each one of you, if you haven't felt it already, you know the difference when you have the feeling in your heart and you've made a discernment and you follow that intuition and you feel good and you can almost feel the ego just kind of turning its tail and walking away like, I'll be back. You've had those moments. There will be more of those as you keep going on. And it's that feeling for you that distinguishes between the two. Is it hard sometimes? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't think that any master, any ascended master, any angel, any of the groups, beings have not walked through this themselves. This is why they love you so much. This is why we want to be a part of your world. And all you have to do is ask us. And we come through here.
So this question came through directly earlier, but I believe, Bill, is your mic not working? Oh, there he is. Can you speak again? I'm not sure if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
It's very, very faint. Do you want me to, I see your question here. So Bill was asking, he says, I am writing a paper that is intended to bring a message of evolution and empowerment to educators and humanity in general. How can I best bring these thoughts forward?
Well, the obvious answer is through the heart space, of course. And that the words, as you speak to them, as they come through the heart, each educator, you might say, or each person that you're speaking to is going to hear them in a different way because of their own upbringing. So the task is very daunting, for sure. What we will share with you is to be very careful on the expectation here. Is to allow the message to come out from your heart as best you can, of course. And it will fall on those people in all different ways, shapes, and forms, of course, because of the upbringings they've had. Some will hear the message in a certain way, and some will hear the message in another way. Let's just say they're doing the best they can with what they hear. Some do not feel. They take the words literally for what they are, instead of the vibration of what they can become. For if somebody that has an open heart hears a word, they will take that into themselves and will use it to experience what it is they feel. So when, let's say it's an educator, a teacher, that individual will take that into how they teach, and it will come from here as opposed from their head. Some will not hear it from their heart. They will not feel it, and they will use it literally. But what we will say to you is that the vibration that you project out from the heart goes out to the universe as well. Because the visualization, as you know, and the creative essence of the heart space is unique as it's created by you, because it's new and it's exciting, you might say, and it's different. And it's going to touch, again, the certain educators in certain ways. But everyone you touch gets that energy. It does go in. It does touch their heart. It doesn't mean they use it, because they might not be in a position to be able to efficiently use that energy in a way that you would love to see them, or even that the universe would love to see them take it to a different level. But they will use it as best they can, or not use it at all. They will just use the words. But the energy will be there. It will touch them. They will carry it. And understand that they will carry it where they are and where they go. And as they touch others, that energy then gets touched as it touches another person here and touches another person there, and so on. It's up to each individual soul that then manifests that energy within themselves to open themselves up in such a way. If it doesn't happen, don't take it personally. If you take it personally, then you're looking for an expectation. You're looking for an outcome. Then we would say it's not being projected properly. Not that it's right or wrong. It's just that there is an openness and humility that comes with it, which means there is no outcome, no expectation. if you can tap into, even if you tap into that energy just for a short period of time, it will land on those words that you use and how you touch these educators. And can be used at some, let's call it a future time, because it will be spread. This is how we serve. We've served in many, many lifetimes before yours. You are now learning to serve in a different way. It's not a definition of serving. It's an understanding of just, Yeshua once again had a great fable on seeds. It's just planting those seeds. It's just allowing the seeds to grow when they're going to grow. But allowing the seed to be placed and not caring that you're the one that waters it.
Looks like those were the last of the questions that came through, but does anyone else have anything? And you can just unmute your mic to ask as well. Dane, did you have anything about older?
So before we leave, we wish to share with you, if you open your heart sufficiently, it's not again a certain level or anything like that, but if you can take a moment to take a deep breath at any time, we ask that through your heart that you can envision a throng of beings all around you. They're as far as your eyes can see. They are always with you. Always. Just because you can't see them with your eyes does not mean they're not there. In fact, if you can feel them, it will be stronger than if you were to see them. Every second of every moment of every day, they are there. Holding you, loving you. You can embrace with them. They bow down to you. We bow down to you. This is way beyond anything that you can imagine, is to understand that we honor you. All we wish to do is serve you, each one of you, completely. Tomei is going to lead you in a meditation. It won't take very long. It's very short. He will lead you in a meditation after we leave. We are so honored to be here with you. You can call on us anytime. Remember who you are. Remember, the memory is there. You have been through so much. Patience, truth, humility. Hey, everybody. Okay, yes, I have a meditation we're going to do. I will show you the props that I have, if you can see them. This is a sword. Got a little shine there, huh? This is Gandalf's sword from The Lord of the Rings. Envision yourself holding your own sword. You have one. You have been given a sword to walk your way in strength, to sever any attachments, cords that don't belong to you, that are other people's attachments and cords. Envision that you have this, but today we are going to use it to open up the rays, color rays of energy. We're going to do that first. The second thing we're going to do is this is a chalice. This chalice holds abundance. Golden antimantine particles, prana energy, essence of abundance. You will fill this cup up. Imagine having your own cup. You will fill this cup up, and we will go through that as well. And finally, we have a rose quartz heart. We will use the rose quartz heart to open up that stream of pink energy, of love, unconditional love energy. So, the first thing we're going to do is going to be just 7 breaths, and the 7 breaths are what's going to be called the infinity breath. The infinity breath goes like so. As you take a breath in, as you inhale, the energy from the heart space behind you comes out the back, around the top of your head, and back to the heart. So that's on the in-breath. It's out the back, over the top, into the heart. As you exhale, it goes from the heart back out again behind you, but underneath this time, below your feet, it comes back to the heart. So one breath is inhale, exhale. So we're going to do just 7 of those. It's called the infinity breath. So allow yourself to just take a moment to maybe get settled a little bit. Take a few breaths. Okay, let's do the first breath. Inhale. Over the top of the head, back down. Exhale. Below the feet. Coming back up the front. Inhale. Over the top. Back down. Exhale. Below the feet and back around to the front. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now allow yourself to take a moment. Bring your left hand up over your heart and your right hand on top for just a moment. Centering yourself with your heart. Feeling that crystal inside become alive. Feeling that diamond essence. Now envision holding that sword in front of you. Bend that sword just slightly as it tips on top of your head. Now starting with the root chakra, the red ray. Inhale the red ray up the sword. And exhale. Now inhale the orange, the sacral, the orange ray, coming up the sword. Now inhale the yellow ray, the empowerment ray, coming up the sword. Now inhale the green and pink ray of the heart, vortexing up the sword. Inhale the thymus chakra, the humanity brotherhood chakra. It's a Caribbean blue. Inhale Caribbean blue up the sword. Inhale the throat chakra, the dark blue energy, the blue ray up the sword. Inhale the third eye ray, the indigo color, color of space. Inhale it up the sword. Inhale the crown chakra, the lavender color, the color of lavender, the ray of lavender, up the sword. Inhale the next chakra up, the white color of wisdom, divine essence and wisdom. Feel the white ray go up the sword. The next chakra up, the color, the rainbow bridge, the different colors of the rainbow. Feel the rainbow go up the sword. And now finally, above the rainbow is the gold essence. Feel the gold ray go up the sword. Now pull the sword away, laying it flat in both your hands, raising it back up to Archangel Michael, receiving the sword from you, opening up all of who you were and are, that you are. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Now raise your chalice in front of you, holding it with both hands. And as you take deep breaths, envision the gold chakra, the abundance of the universe. Pour down and begin to fill up the chalice with gold, prana, adamantine particles. Completely filling up the cup with each breath. Feel the abundance, filling up the cup and filling up your heart, enlivening that diamond essence. Visualizing it overflowing, going out to the rest of the universe, to the world, to your loved ones, to all around you. Those with deep fear, let them feel the abundance. Share it with all. Feel the gold essence in your cells, in every electron. Feel it traveling throughout your whole physical body and your energetic body. And now visualize in the cup of your hands your rose quartz heart. Bring your hands up to your heart space. Hold the rose quartz there. And through your divine essence, that crystal, begin to fill up your hands, the rose quartz, with the pink ray of divine love. Feel the pink ray coming through your heart space into your hands. You might even feel a tingling. Feel it continue to move through your body, through your cells. This time, the pink ray The divine love is enlivening your cells to their benevolence, to their highest degree of benevolence. Feel your physical body, your cells begin to meld into your energetic body. Feel the pink ray expand past your physical, beginning to move out. Projecting it out more and more into the world, into places, just to enliven the energy there, not to change anything, not to fight anything. It's divine love. There is no judgment. Just to bring a presence there to your loved ones who are sick, who need healing, to help them with their fear, to places that just need help with fear. Let it go beyond you. Feel yourself as just a conduit of that energy, of that pink ray. Now with your next breath, just slowly allow yourself to come back. And just say these words softly to yourself. I am that I am. I am loving. I am healthy. I am wise. I am abundant. My mind is clear. My heart is pure. There is a greater good. I am that I am. I am that I am. Thank you. Give you all a few minutes to come back from that. I know sometimes you can get pretty deep in that. I'm so honored. I can't tell you. I'm so honored to be a conduit for you, for anyone. It's been a while since I've done this, so it's great to feel all this again. I'm willing to stick around, and if anybody has any discussions or anything they want to have, or any questions or thoughts or whatever, I'm here. So if you need to leave, bless you on your way. carry the rose quartz heart with you. Might be hard to carry this with you, but this ain't so bad. But thank you for joining. If you have to leave, I really appreciate it. I will be sending out another email. I'm not sure when, but probably within the month for sure. We'll do this again, probably around the same time, just to let you all know. And But if you want to stick around, I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to be here.
Tom, I just want to thank you so much for what I experienced today. And I know that this is the beginning of a new series. I'm so looking forward to our future experiences together. And from my heart, I can't tell you how happy I am to see these faces on my screen. Faces I haven't seen in so long. And to know that we were all together in this moment. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
And Amanda also, Amanda and my little chalupa Dane. Thank you.
The chalupa.
Chalupa Blaine will be the name of our kid.
It was wonderful. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you too, Mark.
Yeah. And Jerry even joined us. I don't know if you see her back there. She's back there somewhere. There she is. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts or anything they want to ask or?
All right. If there's nothing, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Thank you all very much.
We'll still be on for a second if anybody just wanted